The following is a top-line illustration of the Music Modernization Act, also known as the MMA. It was signed into law on October 11, 2018, and its purpose is to improve the licensing system of how mechanical royalties are paid out to copyright owners. The act is made up of a combination of 3 bills previously introduced by Congress. The first is the Music Modernization Act, which number 1 addresses the efficiency and fairness of mechanical licenses for reproduction and distribution of musical works. The works are embodied in phonorecords, permanent downloads, limited downloads, and interactive streams. Secondly, the bill eliminates the song-by-song notice of intention process with a new blanket compulsory licensing system. This new system is designed to reduce transactional costs. Thirdly, the bill directs the register to designate a non-profit entity to administer the new blanket licensing system. We'll discuss the entity a little later. The second bill is the Compensating Legacy Artists for Their Songs, Service, and Important Contributions to Society Act, also known as the Classics Act. Prior U.S. copyright law for sound recordings that were made before February 15, 1972 was not covered under federal copyright law. It only had state law coverage. So when these sound recordings were played on digital radio, no royalties were required to be paid to the record label nor to the performers. The Classics Act now establishes that sound recordings made prior to February 15, 1972 will now be covered by copyright until February 15, 2067. Royalties will now be paid to record labels and performers. The third bill is the Allocation for Music Producers, also known as the AMP bill. This bill designates that Sound Exchange will distribute royalties to the producer, the engineer, and all who are part of the creative process. It's important to note that this is not a new right. Producers and engineers have always collected royalties. The difference here is that the AMP Act establishes a legal procedure for producers to receive their royalties directly from Sound Exchange instead of having to go through and rely on the artist. The Mechanical Licensing Collective, or the MLC, refers to the nonprofit governing agency designated to administer the new blanket licensing system. Its board consists of 10 voting publishers, 4 voting professional songwriters, and 3 non-voting representatives. The 3 non-voting representatives represent the interests of songwriters, music publishers, and digital licensees by way of relevant trade associations. One of the positions here is reserved for the Digital Licensing Coordinator. The DLC coordinates the activities of the licensees, helps the MLC in making reasonable, good faith efforts to locate copyright owners of unmatched musical works, and encourage digital music providers to publicize the existence and purpose of the MLC. The duties of the MLC are to receive usage reports from digital music providers, identify musical works, collect and distribute royalties, develop a process for claiming equitable royalties, and create and maintain a free public database of musical works and sound recording ownership information. How much will this cost? It is estimated that the startup cost should be no more than $48 million, with annual operating costs at a $40 million max. These costs will be funded by digital music providers. What happens next? The Register has already selected the Mechanical Licensing Collective Incorporated and the Digital Licensee Coordinator Incorporated to administer the MMA. They must educate the public on the reforming of this new copyright law between now and the licensing availability date of January 1st, 2021. For more information and updates, you can visit the following website or just go to copyright.gov and click on the Music Modernization Act link on the right-hand side.